Phew. Man, it is hotter outside than the engine of my lifted F-350 after running through a group of BLM protesters. It is hot out there. Buford White here, and I just wanted to give y'all a lesson on the 3 different types of racism. First, you got blatant racism. The second type of racism is fundamental racism. And the third type, that's systemic racism. All right, so let's start with the blatant racism. So that's like when I'm driving my truck down I-5, right? And a black man cuts me off, put my finger out the window, and I yell, "Hey, get out of the way, you." That's blatant racism. Right there in your face. Say it, don't spray it, don't care. Saying N-words, saying F-words, or if I see a black person and I say, hey there, you classless monkey. That's blatant racism. Definitely blatant racism right there. Second type of racism, fundamental racism. This one's a little tricky because this one is what most people who are racist are. This is when someone says, oh, I can make a black joke because I got a black friend. You know, that's fundamental racism. Fundamental racism is also people who may not be blatantly racist, but they support the causes and ideals of people who are racist. So there's a little saying, if there are 10 people sitting together, having a good time, eating dinner at the same table, and 5 of those people are racist, how many people are sitting at that table that are racist? I mean, you know I'm one of them, but I mean, so is everybody else. So that's basically what that means. Fundamental racism is like when I hear one of these uppity, what I'm saying, say something like Black Lives Matter, and I go, oh yeah, all lives matter. All lives matter. And then I go and don't put on a mask in Walmart and spread COVID because I don't really care about those people catch COVID. That's fundamental racism right there. If hearing Black Lives Matter pisses you off as much as it pisses me off, congratulations, you're fundamentally racist just like me. Now my wife is getting out of her car, bringing in the groceries, you know, and she sees a black man, you know, riding by on a bike. She does her duty. She calls the police because that bike's probably stolen. All right, that's fundamental racism right there, because that bike's probably definitely stolen. There's no way it could just be that guy's bike. Not in this neighborhood. Not in this neighborhood. Not where I live. All right. Now let's talk about the third one, systemic racism. All right, systemic racism is why they started the war on drugs. I mean, while we started the war on drugs, all right? Because communities of color were mainly the ones using these specific drugs to cope with the problems that we set them up with their whole lives by never giving them any generational wealth or power or security. So they deal with their problems that way by doing all these drugs because they're terrible people. My ancestors, my people, we came up with this awesome plan to put a war on the drugs, you know? Just the same way we put the war on MSG against the Asian people, you know? Same exact thing. We did it too. First of all, MSG is made out of mushrooms. It can't hurt you. But those bottles do say no MSG. And you got Karen saying, I don't want no MSG on that, please, thank you. Like when we privatized the prisons and had large companies ran by predominantly white people invest a ton of money into the gangster rap industry to glorify criminal behavior and drug use so that way young black people would get caught up in these activities thinking it's cool from listening to the music, therefore filling up their privatized prisons. That's systemic racism. And boy, are we good at it. America, back to blue.